Once again, welcome to Roshanara Live. And this is a one-on-one with Mr. Deputy Chatwani. I don't think he needs an introduction. And he's come back after a couple of elections. So I have a very basic question to you, sir. That I am a member of Roshanara Club. And why should I vote for you and your team? I need a reason.
I want your vote because in my 12 years of tenure from 2000 to 2012, the subscription of the club was always the same. I started my career in the club at 250 rupees and it ended also at 250 rupees. No subscription was ever raised. At the same time, the asset value of the club went up by 22.5 crores of rupees. I made a few projects in the club like lighting the ground, completely renovating the old building and making it a central air conditioned building, making synthetic tennis courts, making a health club, making a new swimming pool, making this new swimming pool building. And there are about 13 odd things that I did in 12 years. But I always used to keep the revenue of the club in mind before spending. I never went out of my way to just spend money for the heck of spending and see that the club goes into losses.
Sir, if I can be the devil's advocate, the accusations I hear from the opposition is that a lot of development has happened in the last 2 years, which hasn't happened in the last 10 or 12 years they've been in power. Please enlighten us on that.
What development have they done? There was already a separate vegetarian kitchen inside. They just brought out a kitchen and just wrote vegetarian kitchen to impress a few people. The present bar was built by me. It was functioning very well. The footfall hasn't increased at all after they say that they have spent 93 lakhs of rupees on it. I think it is sheer wastage of club money because at the end of the day, I always insist on one thing. We are not a 5-star. We are a club. Our rates are less than the restaurants of Connaught Place or other parts of Delhi. So we cannot afford such renovation time and again. We have to keep our money safe. It should keep on growing. Apart from all the renovation, the new works that took place during my tenure, I took over the nursery also, which was a very, very difficult part of my tenure in the club. And apart from that, the fixed deposits of the club went up from 4 crores of rupees to nearly 16 crores of rupees.
That brings me to the next question, sir, because the accusation from the opposition is on the loss. Because from what I understand, there are a few figures floating on what the balance sheet says and what it is otherwise. Can you please elaborate on that?
This balance sheet is really shameful. They printed 4,300 balance sheets and the club has got a voucher wherein they show that 4,300 balance sheets have been dispatched to members. I have talked to nearly 900 members till now. None of them, barring one who said that he has received, otherwise none of them have received the balance sheet. I think even if you are watching me, even you haven't received the balance sheet because the balance sheet shows a loss of 4.53 crores of rupees. Apart from that, there is capitalized expenditure of 3.19 crores. If you are going into such losses, where is the need to capitalize so much? We can do all these things when we are in a smaller loss or when we generate a bit of revenue, we'll go in for renovations or more development. But we can't break up FDs, fixed deposits. This is for the first time in the history of Roshanara Club that we have taken a bank overdraft. Because after surrendering a few FDs, people started questioning them, कि FDs क्यों टूट रही हैं? So they came up with a novel idea. They have pledged the FDs and taken an overdraft against it.
Okay, sir. What is your strategy to counter this issue if and when people choose to elect you? How would you deal with things to set the record right?
First, I am going to change the articles of the club. first and foremost, no member of the managing committee is going to be a member for more than 5 years. That also in continuity only for 3 years. After 3 years, he will give a break for 1 year, and then he can come again for 2 more years. After that, never in his life. Second most important thing I'll do is, any contract of the club where the expenses are more than, where we will incur more than 5 lakhs of rupees, we will tenderize that thing. Proper